Thank you very much. Is anyone here running for president? You might be by the end of the night. At the rate this country's going, everyone's jumping in. It is absolutely great and a real honor to be here, to say the least, and an honor to introduce someone who I have just had the pleasure of not just working with, but really becoming a friend to. You know, there's very few folks, just to cut to the chase, there's very few folks in D.C. that governors relate to be honest. We're managers, right? That's what we do. And when you look at Washington, there's about 20 or so really key managers, the cabinet, that governors really have to spend their time working with, building relationships with, because much like a governor, the cabinet members, they design systems, they implement, they're looking at previous systems, they're trying to be innovative. There's a sense of authority, but also a real accountability to delivering a better service, and a better service for the people of this country, regardless of what department you're looking at. And I can honestly say, regardless of what you think of the politics of the president and all that, these secretaries really get it. They do. Both the current secretaries and the ones that have been fired, to be honest. I mean, let's cut to the chase. I mean, really, they're all great. I don't know what to tell you. Don't worry, this one's gonna stay. I have a good feeling. In all seriousness, you know, working with, for example, Secretary Zinke at the Interior, Secretary Shulkin at the VA, Secretary Tillerson as Secretary of State, and Secretary Azar over at Health and Human Services. These are individuals that really get it. And what is fundamentally different that we see down here in Washington is these are individuals and leaders that focus on the individual. They don't focus on the institution of government. That would be very easy to do. They don't focus on Washington. They understand that the secret of government, the secret of good governance, is how does the system affect the individual? And if you're helping that one person, you're probably helping another million with a similar issue. And they go to the next one, and they look at regulatory reform. They look at not just passing some funding. They look at implementing these new systems in spite, sometimes, of Congress and the legislature, much like a governor. There is a process there, but it can be a little frustrating at times. But to be a true manager that is simply trying to get a better result. And when you look at Secretary Azar, whatever it was in his background, his experience in the public sector, his experience in the private sector, his experience as an advisor, his experience as a CEO, it all clearly comes into play because this guy really gets it. And as a governor, and speaking for the 49 other governors in this country, it's an absolute honor to be working with an administration like this. With that, sir, I'll just bring him on up. It's an absolute pleasure to introduce the 24th, I think, is it 24 now? It's going to be 24 for a while. Like I said, I got a good feeling about this guy. The 24th U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services, Secretary Alex Azar.